Alright, what's up guys? It is Visual Vision here again, and I know I made a shotgun build, a week ago, and I don't know, I got a bunch of views on that. That's like the most viewed the video that I got on my channel right now. And so, I got a lot of views on that. So, I so that's why I decided to make an SMG build. I mean most people right now are looking for a shotgun build because shotguns right now, they're obviously dominating the dark zone. I mean, I've gone into the dark zone and completely got fucked up the asshole and whatnot. I mean, just put their guns up my ass and start firing and just fucking blow my brains out. Okay, guys, that's basically what it is in the dark zone. You're gonna go in there, and if you run into a group of four, that's it. You know what I do sometimes when I run into a group of four? You know what I do? I quit Destiny, or I quit Destiny. Sorry, guys. I quit the division. I go out like this, and I just press quit, so that way when I go back into the division, I'm in a different server. Because I mean, I just really hate groups of fours. But anyways, sorry guys, got a little sidetracked there. But anyways, so this is my SMG build, and I'm gonna get into a little more depth here. To obviously, I'm using a two-piece sentry call, and these three pieces right here on the left, these three pieces I use in my shotgun build. The only pieces that I changed are obviously these three pieces right here on the right. Now I gotta talk to you guys a lot about how to make, or not how to make, but how to overall basically make your SMG build superior than any other SMG build. Now, most SMG builds, what they basically do is that they basically just correspond around critical hit damage and critical hit chance. Now, that is the right thing to do when you're making an SMG build. Obviously, the new SMGs are going to have the critical hit damage. Now, critical hit damage, in my opinion, is is important, but I think critical hit chance is more important because I mean, if you have a lot of critical hit damage but you have low critical hit chance, then obviously you have a low chance of getting that big crit. But if you have high crit chance and mediocre critical hit damage, you're going to be critting more than your regular shots. So I think that's very important. But let me show you guys what I'm talking about. So right now I'm using the Navy MP5, okay, and I got a god roll on my MP5. This is a 1.2 MP5, so it does not have critical hit damage. It does have critical hit chance. So if you do obtain a Navy MP5 or an MP5 that you guys like, a burst MP5 or whatever, and it has, and obviously it's gonna have critical hit damage, but it does have, like, let's say for instance it starts off with deadly and responsive. You can re-roll for brutal, and you can basically make it a god roll, but you're gonna have to make up for that critical hit chance that is not there. You're gonna have to put critical hit chance on your scope, and obviously you're gonna have critical hit chance on your gloves, and you're possibly gonna have to get some gear mods that have critical hit chance as well to make up for that critical hit chance that is in with that's out with, or that's not coming with the Navy, the SMGs, new SMGs. You have to make up for that. But anyways, I'm using the Navy MP5 with brutal, deadly, and responsive. Now, this is a god roll, okay, but when I didn't have deadly, like when I got this MP5, I stole off of Rogue. I was so excited. This was a 1.2, and so when I got off the Rogue, I went into a safe room. I looked at it, and it had brutal and responsive. I had brutal, commanding, and responsive. So I was like, oh my god, I need to get this out of here. So my heart was beating. I was like, oh my god, like, what do I do? What do I do? Because, like, I didn't want to die, because, like, that was the closest to god roll I've ever gotten. But when I found out that you can re-roll your weapon talents, I was like, oh shit, I'm gonna get deadly on this bitch. And so I got deadly, I think, like, my second or third try, and I made it into a god roll. So if you can get anything close to a god roll, like brutal, deadly, or brutal responsive, deadly responsive, or whatever, just may be it. You got to work with what you have. But anyways, the MP5 is not the best SMG out there. Like, I think the MP5 and the PP19 right now are competitors for first place right now. But those two right now are pretty good. But the MP5 still puts out 1,000+ rounds per minute, which is pretty good if you have a magazine that has rate of fire. But anyways, I'm obviously using the Navy MP5 now. The thing that I'm using right now is two-piece sentry's call, so that way I can get that 10% headshot damage. Now, even though it's only 10% headshot damage, it is still something. I mean, I know it's not 30% like it used to, but like I said, guys, it's still something. You still gotta work with it. And then I'm using two-piece Tactician's Authority, so I can get that 4,000 plus skill power in there. And then I'll show you guys my pulse. Now, right now, when you guys are gonna look at my pulse is pretty stunning. It is almost maxed out. And you guys can be like, what? Like, how's it maxed out? Well, with 34,000 skill power, obviously your pulse is not gonna be maxed out. It's not. You're probably gonna need 40, maybe 45,000 skill power to have your pulse maxed out, or maybe even a little more. And I'll show you guys right now. So, critical hit chance 34.9%. I think the max it goes is 40%. And then critical hit damage is 97.3%. It is only 2.7% away from being maxed out. Now, 2.7% is not a lot of critical hit damage, but it's still a little portion, and a little still matters. But it is almost maxed out in the critical hit damage area. Sorry, and that's pretty big. That's why my SMG build is very deadly. Now, I'm gonna show you guys how I got my critical hit damage on my pulse so high. You guys probably already know. You guys probably already figured it out, but I'm gonna show you guys anyways. So I'm gonna go back in my inventory. Now, on these three pieces right here, I have pulse critical hit damage. Okay, now I got it like this. Tactician's Authority backpack. It's 240. I can improve on this build. I can get it to a 268, which has better stats. But I'm working on it. I've been doing the incursion, but obviously my luck is not that good. I've been getting crap rolls and crap drops all day long, and I just can't believe it. But I've gotten pulse duration and pulse critical hit damage like this. The only thing that I re-rolled was the major attribute, or not the major attribute, but the firearms, the stamina, and the electronics. I re-rolled. It was a stamina backpack, and then I re-rolled it for firearms. So now it's a firearms. So it came already with skill power, ammo capacity, pulse duration, and pulse critical hit damage. But the backpack does come with pulse critical hit chance as well. So I mean, I would happily like to replace pulse duration and pulse critical hit chance, but it was either the stamina, or it was either change my stamina to something else, or change pulse duration. So I changed the stamina to firearm, so I thought that was more important. But it came like this, god roll basically for me. And then with my gloves, this is basically a god roll. This is, you guys, every dream right here, a god roll right now, which is firearms Lone Star. I know it's Lone Star. I know I can do something better. I could probably get like Sentry's Call or another Tactician's Authority piece. That's a god roll. But I got this from the HVT missions, and that's pretty crazy. I got this at 1.2 before the 1.3 update, so it's pretty crazy. And so so I got 6.5% critical hit chance. So I re-rolled that critical hit chance. I think it was pistol damage, or I think it was something else. But all I know for sure is that I re-rolled that. So it's pretty crazy that it came with 758 firearms, because the max it goes is 759. It was only 1 point away. I mean, that's pretty crazy. And like I said, I also got pulse critical hit damage on this, and then on my holster I got pulse critical hit damage as well. So that's pretty big as well. So all that added up, that's 27%. So if you do the math here, if you subtract 27% from that 97, you come up with 70. Now that's average. So if I didn't have any pulse critical hit damage whatsoever, then I would have 70%, and that would be all right. Like, I have 70% right now on my I think I have 74% with my shotgun build. That's still pretty good, but 97% because I have pulse critical hit damage on that. Now if I can get a little bit more of critical hit damage, I can possibly max it out, or if I get a little bit more skill power, I'm pretty sure I can max it out. So that's why my SMG build is superior, because it has that. When I pulse it, it's really deadly. But sometimes I'm gonna have to rock that conceal, or that scrambler, so that way they can't see me. But still, look at that critical hit damage. That's still a lot for scrambler. Anyways, So I'm gonna show you guys the type of damage it does, and with and without the pulse. So let's get right into it. So we got 27,000 and 73,000. So I'm not gonna go into the exact specifics, but it's 27,000 regular headshot damage and 73,000 critical hit headshot damage. Now when I pulse it, if you guys don't know this, if you pulse it for a little bit and start shooting, it does the damage. See, so 102,000 per critical hit when I pulse it, and 29,000. So that's a lot of damage. So if you figure, when I pulse it, I have 60% critical hit chance. So if I shoot someone in the head, and let's say for instance I fire 5 bullets to the head, and all those 5 bullets were critical hit chances. Now obviously it's doing above 102,000. Okay, it's doing 102,000. So if you figure, that's 5 million. If I fire 5 shots and all those 5 shots were critical hit damage, that's 5 million. That's basically a sniper rifle critical hit headshot damage basically. And so that's pretty deadly for a SMG. And so that's why I think my SMG build is really powerful, but I have not used it in a long time. Ever since the update came out, I just been using a shotgun because I love the shotgun. It melts AIs, NPCs, especially level 34s and level 35s. Melts them pretty fast. It also melts other players pretty fast as well, and that's why I like it. But if you have really good SMG build, I'm pretty sure you can take out a shotgun dude pretty easily. But right now the counter to shotgun dudes right now is Deadeye. I haven't seen anyone use Deadeye. I've seen YouTube videos of Deadeye being used, but I've never even gotten killed by Deadeye. I haven't, nor even seen people with my own, eyes using Deadeye, which is pretty crazy. But anyways, this is my SMG build, and this is basically it. And I hope you guys liked it. And I think I'll be making a video of me killing people in the or trying to go, not trying to go rogue, but trying to go manhunt basically, or even try to go rogue basically with this build. Like I said, I haven't tried this out in a long time. I'm gonna have to do some testing to see, if this build does work in PvP or if it doesn't, and I'll get back to you guys on that. But thank you guys for watching. Please like and subscribe for more builds or more Division videos. But I think tomorrow or the next day I'll be uploading another Division video of me. Actually, wait, no. Actually, I'm not gonna say. It's just gonna be a surprise. Like, hey. But anyways, guys, thanks for watching. Please like and subscribe for more videos. And as always, guys, I'm just a vision, so you never had a visual of me. Deuces. See you in the next video.